Every time I say it now, get that look in my eye. Every time I see your mouth out, I hear that smile. In the early misty morning light, I heard the engine turning in the old Ford outside. Well, you were leaving me again today. You will convince me again today. You're leaving this hot town, looking for someone else's golden ring. Should have said so long, Susanna. Hush now, don't you cry. So long, Susanna. Don't you cry for me. Sharing jeans and cigarettes and keeping warm out on the road. Chasing down the lifestyle out on Highway 24. New York State was a rolling breeze and the sunshine with a blue sky falling. The chill old September creeping. You were leaving me again today. You will convince me again today. You're leaving this hot town looking for someone else's golden ring. Should have said so long, Susanna. Hush now, don't you cry. So long, Susanna. Don't you cry for me. Oh, that Champ Shannon, he's singing so good. All right. It is a Thursday. Is it Thursday? Get it? Like you're thirsty. It's Thursday. I feel like I'm so clever sometimes. Encourage your viewers to share your live. Hey, viewers, I encourage you to share my live. I wouldn't say that if TikTok hadn't suggested it. They really did encourage. See, Danielle sharing away. She's been sharing away the whole time. All you other slackers, you're on there like, I don't know where the share button is. I ain't seen the share button. Is there a share button somewhere? My eyes aren't so good anymore. You know? And I'm not judging you. I'm not. Just a little judgment. Just small, pico amounts of judgment. Nano banana amounts of judgment. Oh, good lordy, good people. God lordy, good people. The boys were singing shing-a-ling the summer that we met. You were 10 and 17. How could I forget? All the stars from near and far were watching from above. Two little da-da-da fall in love. I don't know what those words were. The way we danced was not a dance, but more a long embrace. We held on to each other and floated there in space. I was shy to kiss you while the whole wide world could see. So Shing-a-Ling said everything to me. And all the poor old folks, they thought we'd lost our minds. They could not make heads or tails of the young folks' funny rhymes. You and I learned all the words, and we always sang along to old Sham-a-ling dong ding, Sham-a-ling dang. That's an old Jesse Winchester number. Do I know any songs from the dog days of summer? I do not. I need to learn some new songs, as anyone who watches this channel regularly knows. I will occasionally remember one like that one. She came on him like slow-moving cold front. His beer was warmer than a look in her eyes. He sat on a stool and he said, "What do you want?" She said, "Give me a love that don't freeze up inside." He said, I have melted some hearts in my time, dear. But to sit next to you, well, I shiver and shake. And if I knew love, well, I don't think I'd be here. Asking myself if I've got what it takes. To melt your icy blue heart. Should I start? Turn what's been frozen for years into a river of tears. Oh, man. All right, let's get going. Let's do something. Let's do something tonight. I know. We'll do Nano Banana. Okay. I just made a video. So I think I'm in some sort of TikTok shit list. I don't know what's going on. I guess they've got some new algorithm and they don't like my shit. But I put out a video tonight called I'm an Idiot. Maybe they didn't like me calling myself an idiot. But I called you idiots too. One of the things that's been striking me the past couple of nights, few nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, is as powerful as the new Gemini image generation model is, I don't know how to use it. Like, I'm getting really inconsistent results. Sometimes I get results that are like mind-blowingly good. Sometimes I get results that are like, it didn't even try to give me what I thought it would give me. I feel similarly with ChatGPT 5 right now still. I feel like a clueless newbie. I feel like an idiot. And I don't, listen, idiot might be a harsh word. I don't know where your sensitivity is on the triggering list with the word idiot. But, but, just feeling like a dum-dum, feeling out of it, like not connected, like don't have a handle on it. And the point I made in the video was if every time a new model gets released, you're like, oh God, I just don't know what I'm doing. It's not you. Like, that's just, I think it's the natural shape of things as especially as we're living in an exponential technology development curve. These tools are going to get better and better, faster and faster. And our ability to keep up with how to use them is just, it's going to be bad. So give yourself some grace. But I figured we'd play with that some more. We love anyway. Mr. IT loves us anyway, even though we're clueless. Even though we're clueless. Dude, give yourself a break. How many irons do you have in the fire right now? About 462. I hear you. I'm overwhelmed with the onslaught of AIs. High. Sensitivity is high. Yeah, exactly. Ugh, sounds like Midjourney. I know. Like even Midjourney. Just keeping up with Midjourney. Just keeping up with what can it do? And how do you actually use that? Here, let me show you something right now. Am I sharing this tab? Share this tab instead. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Okay. Wait, what did I do? No. Oh, producer Brandon and I were dual clicking. So this is Kriya's new real-time video model, which you can get on the wait list for. But do you remember a year and a half ago when Kriya real-time image came out and I was making real-time images and then it made a painting of boobies and I got permabanned from TikTok? This is like that, only worse because this is video. What do you want, Champy? You want to get up on the bed? Hang on. Be right back. Go. So a couple of thoughts on this. My first thought is, well, what the fuck would you use this for, right? A thing that you could use it for, which would actually be pretty cool, is real-time performances. So imagine like a theater improv group. Oh, great, another wait list that I'll forget I'm even on, so I don't check until 3 months after. Find out I was let in. I know. That's totally what it is. You know what's funny, Tom? I was just thinking tonight, I went and looked at my Discord, my list of Discord servers, where I've got like the official Discord server of the thing. I've got some creative partner program versions. I've got, I don't know, 30 different Discord servers for stuff I'm interested in or am in the creative partner program of. It absolutely reminds me of when I was following NFT projects. it's like, oh my God. And they're just relentless. And I feel like it's the same way with these things. Like they just keep, releasing new things. So, anyway, give all yourselves some grace. I'll give myself some grace. 30 lightweight. Yeah, I know. It's probably more than that, Vicky, but I'm trying to not seem like a total sociopath. You know what? Let's cruise through. Yeah. Let's just cruise through X. I'll be the sociopath here. That's just your Discord horde. Let's just cruise through X. So one of the things people often ask me is, how do I keep up with stuff? One is just really like who I'm following. So one of the ways that I'll do this is if I find someone I like if I like this guy Mark Kretschmann. One of the things I'll do, like he's got 14,000 followers, but he's only following 493 people. Let me make this a little bigger. He's only following 493 people. So you can click on that and you can now go see the people that he follows. And sometimes you'll find people in here that you're like, oh, I should follow them. So one of the ways I tweak my feed is to follow people who I like what they do, and I want to find out who they're following, especially if their ratio is really low like that. Like, I think my ratio is stupid because I followed a bunch of people during the NFT days. Yeah, my ratio is I've got 3,500 followers. I'm following 2,000. That's useless. Like my list is useless. Although I suppose if you look at my most recent ones, I don't know, 200, those are probably decent ones. OpenAI today did drop a new version of speech-to-speech for developers. Producer Brandon also posted on the Irregulars channel in the AI Salon that his voice in ChatGPT is glitching a lot. It sounds like it's had helium. It's all crackly and sounds like compression artifacts. I've had that when I've had low bandwidth, but he said he's on really high bandwidth. So this could be a thing where OpenAI is throttling access because they have too many concurrent users. I don't know. That's total speculation. I'm starting to see a lot of those annoying videos. Like I've been noticing some recently that are like moments before disaster, 10 wild examples. And it's video of like the one that I've seen is it's like a mall with a giant fish tank and the wall falls out of the fish tank and smashes a bunch of people. It's total AI bullshit. So I'm starting to see a lot of those, shitty accounts get even shittier. So that's the thing I'm noticing on X right now. CES is coming. People are talking about that again. I don't know why. Planes are crashing. Mm-mm. Oh, here's a fake doll. This isn't creepy. Good luck sleeping. Oh my god.
Hey, Kyle.
Yes.
Just a quick question for the ex uneducated. You've got a tab there that says generative AI and another one that says AI stuff. How do
Uh-huh.
you create those? Because I've tried and not been successful. And I could Google it, but you're right here. So
I don't remember. I think I go to
because I thought they were lists, but they're definitely not lists.
they're lists. They are lists. Your lists. Let me just make sure. Yeah, here's my
But
generative
though,
AI list. See how I have
oh,
it
and
pinned?
you've pinned that.
I've pinned it. Okay, so I
Gotcha.
definitely know how to do this now. Thank you, Brandon, for reminding me to remind myself how to do this. So you go to your three dots, and then you go to lists, and then you can make a list. And basically, when you make a list, you just add a bunch of people that you're following, or you can like Robert Scoble. If you follow him, he's got amazing lists of like 2,000 people. So you can just go grab their lists and add them to your lists. So that's a way that I'll do this. Like AI artists, this is not a list I made, but this AI artist is the one that has 18 members in it. I made the one that has 3,500 members in it. I didn't. That might be Robert Scoble's list. Yeah, so here, AI Consultants by Robert Scoble, and I've got that pinned. And so then when I'm here, I can just like what's weird about the For You page lately is that it seems to have during certain hours of the day, it's getting different. Normally what I'll get is mostly AI stuff. But it seems like at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I get like it's just all videos, and it's all videos of stupid shit, like stupid shit on TikTok. People falling, tripping, smacking their head on garage doors, burping after they take the Sprite challenge, like TikTok. And so if it gets like that, then I'll flip over to one of these lists. Yeah, so that's what's there. And then the other thing I do is a lot of times you'll see headlines that kind of catch you because they're cleverly written. Let's see if I can find one. Grock code was officially released. But anyway, I can't find one now. Just forward it to Manus. Like, follow the tools. Like, if you like Manus or GenSpark, follow the companies that make them or their official pages. That's how I'll find out there's announcements. Pay attention to people that you like. And then the thing I do is if someone I like posts something about here's a thing coming up or here's a rumor, then I'll just keep scrolling. And if I don't see it come up again, then I just assume that it's bullshit. And if I see something show up 4 or 5 times from 4 or 5 different people, then I have a pretty good sense of what's happening.
One other thing while we're on X, we have a DM from me to you for Grock jumping into the vibe coding space for free.
Strong model, but it's a strong model. Is there a place where you can actually just go play with it?
Here, show the expanded out.
Because I noticed it was on, like some vibe coding tools like wind whatever, windsurf or windsock or whatever the fuck that thing is.
Yeah, but free is always it's on Copilot. I'm not sure how you get to it in Copilot, but
yeah, Cursor Copilot. Yeah, it's living. I mean, if you use Cursor or Copilot or things like that, then I would go play with it. It's a new coding model from Grock. It looks good, but I didn't see anything where it's like easy to just go play with it, like Claude or Lovable, things like that. So it might be really good. So okay, cool, beautiful. There's a lot of Nano Banana prompts. People are liking it. It ain't perfect, Nano Banana. If you don't know what Nano Banana is, it's Google's new image generation tool in Gemini 2.5 Flash. There's another weird thing. Like, you've got 2.5 Pro, which has Imagine in it, and then you've got 2.5 Flash, which is like a smaller, less powerful version of 2.5 Pro, but it's got a more powerful image generator in it. How are you supposed to keep track of that? You can't. You're not. You can't. It's not you. You're not the idiot. I'll tell you what, here's $1 billion opportunity. Make an AI to make sense of all this stuff, to just track it, to just be able to just go, I need something that does this. And it's always got the latest one. And you don't have to link to it. It's just right there. Here you go. Start prompting. Go. That'd be nice. Someone go build that. I've been working on visual poems. If AI became unavailable today, would you still continue building? Interesting. XII is cooking, clever and creative ways. Oh, aren't they doing something new with... there was a post from Notebook LM where they're going to put the new image generation model into Notebook LM in their video generation tool. So you'll be able to prompt their video generation tool to do things in a more predictable way with probably better image generation. I hate it when I'm let in and pay the sub for 6 months and then do absolutely nothing with the tool. That's archetypal. That's I would say that 90% of the tools that I pay for, if I were to divide the monthly fee by the number of prompts that I give it in a month on average, it's probably about 50% of the monthly fee. So I'm paying $10 a prompt for most of the tools that I use. I have completed not one single thing in Manus. Well, okay, so here's the thing. So I said this last night, but I'm going to say it again because I want to find a way to work this into my more organically into my thinking. I saw a LinkedIn post yesterday that said 10,000 prompts is the new 10,000 hours. And basically meaning like if you want to get good at a tool, you just got to fucking use it. You right? Play first. You got to play with it. You got to play. You got to push it. You got to put in your 10,000 prompts. And I think the expectation is, I should be able to do that for lots of different tools. I think what's happening is the tools are getting sophisticated enough that it's kind of like pick a lane, pick a couple of tools, put in your 10,000 prompts and just get good. at those things. I think that's where it's going, because otherwise you just end up with like ChatGPT at this point. I would say if you're starting from a standing start with ChatGPT and you really want to master it, you really want to understand all of the settings and all of the personalities and custom prompting and custom GPTs and codecs and canvas and deep research and deep thinking, all that shit, image generation, voice. Like if you did it 8 hours a day for a month, you might feel like you've got some decent mastery of it. but it's probably going to be more like 3. So it's just kind of where we are right now. The tools are a bit more sophisticated. Do I have a good recommendation for a HubSpot AI alternative? I don't, Mark. I haven't done a ton of programmatic marketing. It's something I want to get into. Vicky in here is a huge fan of Blotato from Sabrina Romanoff. I don't know that it's apples to HubSpot, but I know it's an AI native tool. It's not cheap, nor is HubSpot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you there, unfortunately. I just don't do enough of it. Yeah, Vicky says she loves Blotato. I get loads of use out of pseudo-write. I don't know what pseudo-write is. Is that an LLM? All right. I think that's true. 10,000 rule. My prompts are really getting next level. Oh, that's cool. GPT-5 hates us. No, GPT-5 doesn't hate us. GPT-5 thinks we hate it because we haven't taken the time to learn it. You know what it is with GPT-5? It's like we went out on one date with it and we're expecting it to. It's like on the second date, we're like, you want to get married? And ChatGPT-5 is like, whoa. Why don't you learn to prompt me first? You know, I've got different models and I've got this routing model that will make some choices for you. Why don't you learn what's good about that before we get hitched? I've been using Brevo, but it's falling short. I mean, you know what's funny, Mark, on the marketing automation stuff is I've never even heard of Brevo. SEO is totally fucked right now and changing. You've got to do AIO, right? So AI optimization. So how do you get into search and into chat results? So that whole world's changing. The marketing world is so fragmented. Like if you just think about short form video, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, things like that. Like where do you put your attention? And, the answer is like, you put your attention on all of them, you dummy. What you're going to do is you're going to make one piece of content and then you're going to leverage that content across multiple channels. And that's what Vicky's doing with Blotato, but it's like just getting your head around where you're going to put all this shit and what you're going to put there and what your voice is. It's a lot. And then you have to create the content to fill that machine. Right? It's this big circular fucking nightmare. Just moved from Asana to ClickUp. Yeah, you're in a world that I used to run one of the biggest agencies in the world, but we were more of a creative agency than a media agency. And then I got out of that in 2002. So basically from 2010 on, from all the social media stuff on, I'm kind of clueless with what to do with this stuff now. Vicky, it's not quite HubSpot, but fills some of that capacity. There you go. That's been amazing having all the AI integrations. I really just need a CRM and an email tool, really. Yeah. Yeah. So, good question. Keep coming back here, and when you figure it out, let us know. Join the AI Salon if you haven't. Brandon, if you would, pop the address for the AI Salon up on screen. Yeah, I've dropped my Blotato sub too. I just don't have anything that I want to say that badly or that much. I know. I'm the same way right now. Like, even though I put a fair amount of content out there, I'm like, wait, what am I going to talk about? What do I want to talk about? What's important right now? And I don't know. I'm still in this weird place where I don't have a clear point of view right now. There you go. So the AI Salon, if you haven't joined the AI Salon, please go do that. Thesalon.ai. If you go to community.thesalon.ai, that'll take you straight into our community website. Sign up there. Introduce yourself. Step 2 is introduce yourself. Just go introduce yourself. I need an AI that paints my 3D models for me in Bamboo Studio. I can't believe someone hasn't come up with that by now. That seems vibe codable, Vicky. Come on. Come on. You got to be able to vibe code that. That's all just geometry and pixel colors. And normal maps. I don't know enough about 3D. I know they got these things called normal maps and shaders. Oh, man. All right. Is he reading this chat or is he just plugging his other stream? I was not reading this chat. What's your question? Oh, here we go. Do you feel AI has an honest case to replicate human output, like full replacement? Does it have an honest case? I don't quite understand the question. What's your name? Aha. Ahaz. A shish. Wait. How did you phrase the question? Do I feel AI has an honest case to replicate human output? Oh, do I feel that AI is going to get good enough that it's going to be indistinguishable from humans? Is that it? Is AI output a replacement for human work? Oh, yes. I not only do I think it has an honest shot, I think what's going to happen is this. Right now, all of the AIs are still bad enough. Like Sam Altman talked about GPT-4 as being slightly embarrassing. Like, he knows that it hallucinating that much and it being that imprecise is not acceptable, right? And he called it slightly embarrassing. GPT-5's better, but one of the things you'll notice about GPT-5 is that there's no clear consensus on is it good, bad, or indifferent, because all sorts of different people are using it. People that are using it for high-end thinking stuff are saying it's absolutely remarkable. People like me that are living down in more mundane things like, marketing and communications and storytelling, it's just different. It's not better. It's just different. And I don't know how to prompt it yet. And so all of the tools right now are, for the most part, non-automated. The ones that are automated are janky as shit. But I think what's going to happen is this. I think what's going to happen is someone's going to crack the code. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to call it's an important distinction here that, for, the answer not to be an immediate no on replacing humans. It will replace most human work in terms of the work as we know it today. But I think if I know you well enough to know that that's not going to replace human drive and innovation. And I want to make sure we get to that point as well.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's gonna. I'm talking about human jobs. Will it replace human jobs. I think it will replace human jobs of today. I think it will enable new jobs tomorrow that we can't even imagine right now. That's what new technology always does. It automates the things that we know now. We can't imagine what the future would be like without those jobs. And the fear is always, oh, well, what are humans just going to sit around and rot? No, we're humans. We seek to make meaning. We seek to connect. We seek to make a difference. So we're still going to do that. And I think what happens is what AI does is it automates, it replicates the tasks that we do today. But the tasks are not the important part. The important part is what's the idea? Like, what's the idea of the business that you work for? You know, what's the idea of how you want to impact a customer? I think the human role is going to elevate into, well, what difference do I want to make in the world? And then the AIs are going to do all the tasks. So I think that's what shifts. And so I think our roles elevate, or you could choose not to live in that more elevated, high thinking world. And you could just say, well, all the tasks are taken care of. The thing I'm really excited about is LED macrame. And so I'm going to master LED macrame. And at some point, that's going to become a job. Like stuff that we just like, that's not a job. If anyone from 1895 saw what we do for a living right now, they'd go like, that's not work. Work involves muscles and grain. The tech intakes language and outputs the average of that language, nothing more. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That is a trope from, if you look at how a large language model predicts the next possible token, then what you say is true, right? If you're only looking at it at the token level, right? You're saying we take all this information, we embed it into 1,000-dimensional mathematical space. We put all these tokens in this weird-ass math space. And when you type a prompt, it creates a probability of what's the next most probable token. And you could argue that that's some amalgamation of all the shit. But when you start to do things like create chain of thought, like the reasoning models, the thinking models that are not just doing next token prediction, and if you start taking the agents, the autonomous agents, and then if you also start taking human contribution, where so like one of the tropes of AI, and the one that you just said, is that it just gives you an average answer. If you give it a shitty prompt, it will give you a shitty answer. So if you say, write me a LinkedIn post about marketing, you will get the amalgamation of all the LinkedIn articles and every other article of marketing, and it will be boring ass, repetitive drivel. But if you spend 15 minutes going, okay, I've got a point of view on marketing and I've got some ideas here, and I'm going to put my ideas into the prompt and I'm going to see what it gives me back. And then I'm going to go, ooh, I like that idea. I don't like that idea. I'm still actively involved in the curation and refinement of what the model's doing. So it's not a one-shot thing, right? I think that's where you're like, what I would encourage you to do is like use these things. Chain of thought is still average. It's not because you're missing the human component here. If what you're asking is, might an AI be so good at some point in the future that we don't need the human involved in it? It might be. But to say that you can't get high quality original content out of large language models is just not true. It's just not true. It's like that for using AI. Let's see. Want to write? I work with AI daily. I use it constantly. As a staff dev, it does okay, but it's not original. Let me ask you something. What is an original thought out of a human? How do our brains work? How our brains work is we get some inputs, and those inputs go into what is effectively a large language model that's had a bunch of information encoded in it, right? The original source material ceases to exist, but we've got, synapses and neurons that are firing off with chemicals. And when an input comes in, how do we have an original thought? Well, we have an original thought like this. We go, that kind of reminds me of Andy Warhol. Oh, and that makes me think of Tom Robbins, that author. And, that thing my mom told me when I was 8. And we mash together those disparate thoughts in this crazy straw of a fucking brain we have. And we go, here's a new idea, which is some weird ass combination of the thoughts that got put in our head over our lifetime. How is that fucking different than what a large language model does? If it's not generating original thoughts, then you're not prompting it in a way that's taking inputs from incongruous things and mashing them together and putting them out in such a way that you go, oh, that actually seems interesting and different. 2 nights ago in here, I was doing something. We were talking about writing kids' stories, and just on a lark, I said, I don't want a kid's story like every other kid's story. I want something that makes them, question thought. And I want something that shakes up the kindergarten. And what ChatGPT came up with was really interesting. And it was new and novel from where I sat. Now, was it mathematically new and novel? I don't know. Maybe not. But I don't see how our brains create an original thought. I don't see how that's different than a well-prompted large language model. So, for what it's worth, okay, you're talking about context size then. It cannot replicate a human buffer size. I agree. I said at the beginning of this, these tools suck right now. The context window's too small, the memory's too imprecise, the hallucinations are not predictable or manageable. Although it looks like 5 has gotten that much better, and it looks like memory's about to get much better. But I agree with you. Like, yes, human brains are better than large language models right now. But to say that a large language model is not capable of generating an original thought, I just don't agree with it. 1 million tokens cannot speak to human experience. I'm not talking about speaking to human experience. It doesn't have the attention headspace to differentiate actual content. No, but we do. Here's what you're missing. We're using these tools. If you want the large language model to suck less, then find more creative ways to prompt it. Find different ways to come at things. Find different ways to synthesize the world so that these things are reflecting better answers back to you. But anyway, like I think you and I are actually agreeing. I get what you're saying, and I actually like it, not going to lie. But here's my point. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think you're actually right. That from a definitional place where large language models are right now is like child's play to the sophistication of our brain. Absolutely agree. My point is the tropes of things like it can only do predictive outputs and it's only going to give you the average of things is just not true if you've got a human collaborating with that machine. Because then so I'm writing a book right now called Feed Your Prompt. And the whole thesis of the book is that if you feed your prompt what the large language model does is amplify your ideas. And I think the the sort of area that you're treading on is, I think, one of the mistakes that people make, and it's one of the things that the Silicon Valley bros have precipitated this idea that the AI is the genius, right? They're like, the AI is going to have AGI and it's going to be smarter than all of us. And so they're saying the AI is the genius. And so if you treat AI like this thing where you give it a prompt and it's going to give you a genius answer, it's horrible at that. It doesn't give you a genius answer. It gives you a shitty answer. But if you shift the framework to say, no. The AI is not here to replace me. The AI is here to augment me. It's here to amplify my ideas. Everything changes. Because now you take what it's good at and you let it amplify your stuff. And then you can take your brain, which is better than it at some things, and you can go, ooh, that's a good idea. Let me take that one, put that in my crazy straw, spit it back out to it, see how it amplifies that, see how it amplifies that. And so within an hour, you can do in an hour that what might have taken you 3 months without something like AI. But it's a very different mindset. So anyway, good question. Good banter. Back and forth. Thank you. Bro, truth. Lisa, what's happening? All right. I misjudged this, and I do respect this take, actually. Thank you for entertaining it. Thanks for the question. Like, seriously, I love these conversations because it's, for one thing, it's like when Brandon said, how do you make those things across the top? I'm like, I don't know. The whole purpose of this channel is for all of us to be in this conversation. You're like, well, what is this conversation? I don't know. It's questions like that saying, well, wait, is it theft? Is it copyright violation? Can you copyright something? Can it have original thought? Like, it is so important for us to start to get our head around what these things are, what they make possible, what they can't do right now, but the trajectory that they're on, and that if they can't do this right now, are they going to be able to do it 6 months from now or 3 years from now? And if they can do it 6 months from now, well, we better start fucking preparing for that. Right? And and the only way you can know that is I've been on this planet for 60 years. The only thing I know is when you're in a burgeoning primordial soup stage of a technological innovation, the only way you can learn it is to be in the soup. And that's what this channel's about. TikTok question. McKinsey Sim. How much coding should I learn? I'm learning Python. Might try Wolfram language. Okay. Great question. Not a simple answer. Do you technically need to learn coding right now? You don't. I would argue that learning philosophy is probably as valuable, if not more valuable, than learning coding. And I've got lots of reasons for that. But that said, people who are competent with coding, who also understand vibe coding and a lot of other things that AI makes possible, are going to be way more valuable than just people that can code. So, and it also has a lot to do with what you want to do. If you want to go work for Meta or OpenAI or Google, yeah, they're probably going to want you to not only, learn coding, but be really fucking good at it and be able to use all these AI amplification tools like Cursor Copilot and, Cursor and Copilot and, all of the Replit and things like that. If you want to be building models and fine-tuning models, if you want to be digging deep into the open source world, if you want to develop your own applications, even if you're going to vibe code them, really understanding databases and security and auth and all of the stuff that you need to do to build a world-class application. Right now, these vibe coding tools suck at all that stuff. But here's the but. Here's where you don't have to necessarily learn coding. It depends what you want to do. One of the most important roles in the next 5 years is going to be what I call a creative generalist. And that is someone who can look at the entirety of a project, the entirety of an idea. So you're working for a company and you need to revamp your sales outreach. One way you could do that is you could go into application development and you could get with a UX designer and you could run down that deep rabbit hole. And that's going to take you a long time to build. The other way is to be a creative generalist that sits above all of the tactical execution, but can actually understand all of the different things that are required to do that. Okay, there's going to be some change management required. There's going to be some systems development required. We're going to need to really understand our customers. We're going to really need to understand how our current sales approach isn't working. Where's it breaking down? We're going to need to do some data analysis. So imagine being so facile with AI tools that you could just sit there like the Wizard of Oz or like the conductor of a symphony and just go, okay, I'm going to pull in this tool and do the data analysis. Then I'm going to take the answer to that. I'm going to put that into a presentation. And this afternoon, I'm going to give that presentation to the boss. I'm going to get the boss's blessing. And then I'm going to go do all this. And then I'm going to write scripts. And then I'm going to create training materials. Like that kind of person is going to be, they're going to be like fucking magicians. It's literally going to be like the Wizard of Oz. You're going to have that kind of power. That doesn't require coding, right? That requires broad thinking. That requires understanding lots and lots of elements. I think the day of the hyper specialist is numbered. There will still be people that hyper specialize, but they're going to have to get better at going horizontal. That's me, the creative generalist. There was a TikTok pin, but I missed it. I agree with you. Understand the basic code, even Blender, but limited. All obsolete. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Communication skills will be really important. Yes, communication skills are going to be critical, right? Empathy, critical thinking, creative thinking, curiosity, adaptability. Holy shit. You want to know what to study rather than coding? Learn enough code so you understand the components of coding. But you want to really master something, get really masterful at something, become the most adaptable person on the block. Become someone that the minute something new comes out, you've got curiosity enough to go, oh, I'm going to go learn that. And then you can immediately go, is that better or worse than what we have today? If it's the same or worse, I don't give a shit about it. If it's dramatically better, I adapt all of the other stuff that I do and how I think about stuff to this new reality. And that's going to keep rolling for the next 5 or 10 years. Those people that have curiosity and hunger and ambition and adaptability, holy shit, you're going to be valuable, like deeply valuable, like, you know, won't ever be looking for work valuable. And there's going to be a lot of people looking for work. New pin. I don't see a pin. Okay. Hit you on LinkedIn. Great. This is a refreshing take from C-levels expecting raw 40% increase in output. Yeah. So listen, I'm glad you hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm happy to chat. And excited to. I'm excited by your things. The MIT study that just came out that said 95% of AI projects have failed. 0% return, 0% value, they said. 95% of the things. You've got to look at the methodologies of that study. Like how they're defining success is increased revenue. So like there could be no other value from an AI implementation than increased revenue, right? What? No. They didn't define, it's not based on quantitative data. It's based on 54 qualitative interviews where they said, did you make more money or not? No. Oh, okay, so that's a 0. Like, that study is fucking ridiculous. And so CEOs that expect a 40% bump in revenue because we gave people access to ChatGPT is fucking bullshit. Nobody knows how to use it. That's what this channel is about, is nobody. Hang on. Blowing my vocal cords out here. Nobody knows how to use this shit. One of the things I'm doing in consulting right now is anyone in the C-suite, if I'm going to work with anyone in the C-suite and they don't fucking use generative AI, I'm not going to work with them. Because this is not the kind of thing that you can go, I'll just delegate it to the IT group. I'll just delegate it to the people that handle that. I'll just delegate it to the innovation group. No. You've got to understand, as someone who's trying to drive change in an organization, you've got to understand that what generative AI is doing to computers is making them behave in ways that they've never behaved before. This is not an efficiency play. Can you use AI to make more efficient ways of doing what we've already done? Yes. It's not all that interesting. We've had Zapier for years. We've had automations for years. We've had specialized AI for years. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about generalized intelligence that does stuff. It generates. No one in an organization knows exactly what that means for their department, for their job. No one. So the only way we're going to get through this is to collaborate and to mix ideas together and be in conversations like this. Ann Murphy in the house. What's happening? Just in time for my favorite topic. We're going deep here. We are going deep here. We paid $240 for the tool. Source Camp picked up 3 new clients in 24 hours because I can adapt to my clients' pain points. Yeah, this is the fucking thing about AI right now. Is it's so fucking exhausting. And it's only exhausting because we've been through this before, right? Every time there's a new technology, we go through this. In the mid-90s, the number of conversations I had with C-suite executives that were saying, we need a website. And I would ask, why do you need a website? And they would go, yeah, because I was golfing with my buddy and he's got one and I'm like, well, what do you want it to do? I don't know. Well, then how do you know you need a website? You might need a TV ad. You might need a better sales force. You might not need a website. And it's the same shit with AI right now. We need AI. Why? What do you want it to do? Do you even know what it makes possible? Well, I just need it. Okay. I got ChatGPT for the staff. They're going to go figure it out. Are they? It's like, fuck. What Source Camp's doing is going in and going, got a problem? Oh, do you want me to show you how we can solve that problem? You know the problem that you haven't been able to solve for 2 years and you think it's not solvable? Do you want to watch me solve it in an hour? That's what she does. It's remarkable. And then she does, and then she like solves their problem in real time in front of them. And they're like, how's that possible? She's like, well, keep paying me and we'll knock a bunch of other things down like that. That's because she's living in this creative generalist role where she can look at any problem in any business and go, okay, if I use that tool and that, and I put those together, right? She's like the conductor. So those people that get facile with lots of tools, and even tools that are way outside their expertise, like coding or images or music, they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to walk into any situation and go, what's your problem? Oh, we can crack that nut. All right. C-suite is uniquely unqualified to strategies for AI. Yes, I have to educate them under the cloak of darkness. Actually, you know what, Ann Murphy? That's a really good point. I'll tell you something fun. When we first started agency.com, the original name of the company was the agency. And the reason we called it the agency was we said, we understand what websites are. Well, we really didn't. We understood as much as anyone because it was just being born, right? But what our hypothesis was there's going to be a lot of C-suite executives that are going to want a website, but they're not going to want to admit that they don't know what a website is. And so we talked about the agency being like this, cloak and dagger agency that we would sneak in, the service entrance of the big building, go up to the C-suite, teach them what websites were, and then leave. We'd come build your website, then go out the back door. I think there's something there. I think with generative AI, what you've got, especially in big companies, is you've got executives who their organization has had AI for decades. They're like, oh yeah, we got AI. We got people for that. They don't actually understand at all that what generative AI is different. and that the implications of it are profound. Boopsy, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I used ChatGPT to prepare for an appeal with the county. I was able to make them admit fault. Awesome. Yes. Oh, you want to know something cool today? So my wife's an artist, and she got selected to be interviewed for an article. And she had a brain injury at some point, so she gets overwhelmed in conversations and things like that. And so when this reporter was interviewing her, she was getting overwhelmed, and she goes, can you just send me the questions? And so the woman sent the questions, and there was a lot of questions, and a lot of them were repetitive and things like that. So what we did was I said, oh, this is a perfect use for ChatGPT, not to write the questions, but just to make sense of, let her sort of ramble, right, in all sorts of order, and then let ChatGPT make sense of it. And so I would read the question, and she'd think about it for a bit, and we'd go back and forth a little bit, and then I'd put it on ChatGPT, and I go, okay, Quinn, here's the question, and then Gabby's going to answer, and then I want you to make sense of it. And so I would ask the question, then Gabby would answer, and she would say this idea and that idea, and she'd go all over the place. And then Quinn would go, well, here's how you might say that. She would write a perfect retelling of what Gabby just said. Well written, well crafted. I would literally copy and paste that, remove M dashes because there were too many of them. And it was good to go. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. That ability to take the thing you want to do, right? You want to get the county to admit that they fucked something up. And they've got all sorts of ways of avoiding responsibility or admitting that they fucked something up. Well, all of that's been documented somewhere. So that's all in the learning model, right? So you can go into it and go, okay, here's my situation. Here's what the county's saying. Here's my evidence. Give me an outline. Give me a speech. Beautiful. Brilliant. Love it. TikTok pin. No pin there right now. Repin. Kavruno, my VP, is meeting with our CHRO, and I prepared her for their AI conversation. So Kavruno works for a big company, and there's a lot of people. So if you're new here, it seems like we've got some new folks here. The people that show up to this channel night after night, I'm here 5 nights a week. I do this for 1.5, 2 hours, 5 nights a week, starting at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a little late, but fuck it. What else are you going to do? The people that show up here night after night, they're called the irregulars because they're just not normal. Because why would you watch this, right? Why would you watch an old man rambling about fucking AI? Because what they understand is if they're in the conversation and they can be just a little bit smarter about AI than the people around them, and if they can talk intelligently about it, then good things are going to happen. And a number of people on this channel started out as what Ethan Mullick described as the secret cyborgs. They were interested in AI, but they were in the shadows. And one of the things we talk about in the AI Salon is play first, mindfully create, and generously lead. And the generously lead part looks like talk about AI, talk about what you're learning, talk about what it's good at, talk about what you love, talk about what you hate. Just talk about it. Talk about it at work. Talk about it at the dinner party. Talk about it on fucking Facebook. You want to get some hate mail? Talk about AI on Facebook. I don't do it. It's bad enough when I get my ass handed to me on LinkedIn. But just talk about it. Because what it forces you to do is it forces you to think about, well, wait, what is my opinion here? And then you put it out there and you establish yourself as someone who is thoughtfully engaging with AI. You establish yourself as some kind of expert. None of us are experts right now. 0 people, 0% of us. Because the stuff's changing too fast. But you can be ready for AI. Ann Murphy, who's here, she and I put together with Vicky Baptiste a thing called the AI Readiness Training Program. It's a 5-module comprehensive training program. Yeah, if you go to areyoureadyforai.com, it doesn't teach you any tools. It's not about tools. It's about shifting your mindset. How do you think about being creative with AI? How do you think about business with AI? How do you think about the ethics and security and privacy? How do you apply this to business? And so there's all this remarkable video content in there from last year's AI Festivus. And then we pulled the lessons out of, all of those videos that were kind of consistent across them. And that's what that training's about. And it's amazing. And so if you do that, what happens, like one of the things that happened with Kavruno is, she got asked to do some talks, and then she got asked to do more talks. And then someone at one of the talks said, oh, you should talk to the VP. And then she gave a talk to the VP, and then she was on the AI steering committee. I think, is that right? And now there's all sorts of things where she's training up people high in her organization, because I guarantee you this, she is probably one of the smartest people in her organization about AI, about generative AI. I don't even know your background, Karuno. I don't know what you did before. Was instructional design? I don't know. But why she's expert right now is because she's thinking broadly and thoughtfully and critically about what AI is good at, what it's not good at, and how you apply that to a business in a responsible way. Very few people are doing that right now. So if you do that in a loud and visible way, you will get noticed. Okay. Okay. The other thing, since Ann Murphy's here, so I mentioned AI Festivus. If you were not here last year for AI Festivus, shame on you. And if you were not here the year before when we did GPTs for Good, shame on you. So every Christmas holiday, Ann Murphy and I seem to lose our mind. And we say, hey, wait, we've got 2 weeks off. Why don't we fill that with a high stress live event that covers 24 hours? And so 2 years ago, we decided to do 24 hours of GPT building for nonprofits. And we created more than 500 custom GPTs for nonprofits. And last year we did this thing called AI Festivus, and it was 34 speakers from 4 different communities that just came, and it's the Friday and Saturday between Christmas and New Year's, or Hanukkah and New Year's, or whatever you celebrate there, and New Year's. It's like you got to include them all now. So that Friday and Saturday. So this year It's December 26th and December 27th. We start at 9 in the morning. We go till 9 at night. 12 hours on Friday, 12 hours on Saturday. And you're like, what are you, fucking insane? Yes. And we're going to do it again this year, and it's going to be bigger and better than last year. Last year, we got some boosts from some people in other communities, and we thought we might be doing this for about 400 people if we were really lucky and got our shit together. We ended up having 3,500 people sign up for Festivus. We had 2,500 people show up, and we averaged 540 concurrent sessions every hour for 24 hours over a 36-hour period. It was absolute insanity. And it was amazing. And people said it changed their lives. And like we on our podcast, on the AI Readiness Project podcast, this week we interviewed someone that said, we have a question. How did you get into AI? He said, I got into AI because of AI Festivus. Changed his life. So we're doing that again this year. So save those dates. If you know someone that should speak at it, let us know. And if you know someone who wants to sponsor it, the thing that we're committed to doing, which is what we did last year, is that it's free for everyone. And so we're committed to doing that. It's not free for us because what we found out, we did this on Zoom last year, and we found out if you want to have more than like 20 people on your Zoom call, you gotta fucking step up. You gotta give up some coin. And luckily we had some people come in and sponsor at the last minute. But yeah, that's coming up. All right. It's so cool. What time is it? It's 9:18. I do want to go do some Gemini banana time. And here's why. You could absolutely argue Gemini. Go to gemini.google.com. Okay, you can flip the screen up there. There you go, Brandon. You could absolutely argue that image generation inside a large language model, you could do it inside ChatGPT. You could do it with image gen inside Gemini before. And now we can do it with this new model called Nano Banana. Why take any time on that? Why spend? This is now my third night where I'm spending time working on this. Why am I doing that? Because it's different. There's something different about this one. And I don't know how to use it yet. And that drives me fucking crazy. And like that's an attribute. If you can develop that thing of like, I gotta know. How do you make it do the good stuff? Why is it not doing what I want it to do? Why is it not wanting to, right? If you can develop that hunger for understanding these things, you're going to be in really good shape. Like that's the core skill for the next 3 to 5 years. Just that curiosity and that drive to be like, how does this fucking thing work? I'm clueless on how this thing works. I can do a little bit with it. I understand what it's doing. I just don't understand how to make it sing yet. And so that's why I want to play with it. All right. Why can't OpenAI come up with fun names like Nano Banana? Well, but you know what's funny, Source Camp? The name of this is not Nano Banana. The name of this is 2.5 Flash image generation. Like nowhere does it say Nano Banana. That was the code name of the project that everyone on the internet said, this Nano Banana model is fucking amazing. And because it had a fun name, people are sticking with that. And now Google's leaning into it a bit, and they're making banana images and things like that. That's not the name of it. The name of it is, yes. We talked to the branding professionals here at Google. It's that's at google.com, and within the branding framework of the Gemini artificial intelligence suite, the image generation, well, it's natively within Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is the model, of course, and it's a multimodal model. And within that is the image generation. And that's what was the image portion of that is what was codenamed Nano Banana for testing purposes. Of course, that's not the official. The official name is just it's Gemini 2.5 Flash. No! Call it fucking Nano Banana. Idiots? Okay. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Let's see. So if you're at gemini.google.com, you have to be in 2.5 Flash. This is another confusing thing. If you're in 2.5 Pro, this does not have the newest image generation model in it. So the less capable large language model has the more capable image generation model. Remember that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to say, I want you to create a JSON. If you don't know what JSON is, it's JavaScript Object Notation, JSON, or some people call it JSON, but that just sounds like a dude. So I call it JSON so I can sound impressive. All right, I want you to create a JSON framework to describe all of the elements that might be in an image that might be in an image. Let's just see what it comes up with. This JSON framework includes a structured way. So we got a timestamp, overall scene description, camera parameters, elements, person, label, pedestrian, segmentation, mask URL. Good. Gender, value, female. All right. Good Lord, that's a lot. Oh, and here's a description. Now we have documentation of our JSON framework. Okay. So then, how do I get out of this? Okay. Then I'm going to say, I want you to write a JSON prompt for a cinematic shot from a movie in 16:9 aspect ratio with an unforgettable character in an unforgettable place with an unforgettable object and some unforgettable action. Okay, we'll see what it comes up with. So what I'm doing here, the reason to play with JSON is you don't have to do this at all, but it does seem that this image model does better the more context you give it. So there's a music generation tool right now called producer.ai that you create songs in the context of a conversation. And it's really amazing because you can just go, no, make it more boppy, and it'll make the song more boppy. Like it understands imprecise creative direction. This Nano Banana thing doesn't. Like, you'll get a really good shot and then you'll give it an imprecise creative direction and it'll just make a completely different image. So what I'm trying tonight is trying something a little different. All right, shot ID, unforgettable climax shot 001, aspect ratio, camera angle, low tracking shot. So here's the other thing. If you don't know anything about cinematography, and if you don't know anything about movie making and visualization, last night I was, thank God I said that Nano Banana is not the actual name of the product. Yeah, no, you can't find Nano Banana. What you can find is Gemini 2.5 Flash. And if you don't know that it's Nano Banana in there, then nanny boo boo on you. So I'm glad you found it, Chef Kelly. Okay. But large language models know all of the cinematography terms. They know all the photography terms. They know colors, they know lighting, they know positions, they know blocking. All the shit that's ever been written about visual communications is in the large language models. So if you just say, come up with a JSON framework, it understands that what a JSON framework is it's just a structured list of attributes of this image. And what's cool is once you have it, you can just tell it to fill in this framework for any image you want. Okay. Low angle, dramatic backlighting, desaturated blues and grays with spot red accent. Frame composition, rule of thirds, leading lines toward the character. Great. Name, Elias, the Whisperer. Okay. Unforgettable place, the obsidian spires of Athelgard. Great. A vast, desolate plateau where colossal, jagged spires of black crystalline rock. Fine. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to take this whole thing, this prompt, and then we're going to do this. So what was the character's name? Elias. Okay. So I have an idea. So we're going to do new chat. I'm going to maybe I shouldn't do a new chat. Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll do it in the context of this other chat. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to go. Here's an image prompt that I want you to make. The uploaded picture is who I want Elias to look like. All right. And then I'm going to paste in that JSON prompt, but I'm going to upload an image. Kyle Shannon dreams. Those are bad. Let's see. Let's see. Hold, please. I got to go find something. Maybe go to Kyle Shannon dreams. Here we go. This is the guy I want right here. So we're going to export this. Mind your tabs. Am I not sharing the right tab? I am not, but I'll be back. That's okay. Thank you. Guitar, desktop, go. We're going to come here. We're going to go desktop. All right. That's the guy. You can't see it. All right. That's the dude. He's got this sort of crazy split beard. So we're gonna give it this intense, highly structured prompt, and we're gonna give it a dude for him to look like, and then we're gonna make this. All right, here we go. Is this gonna be any good? I don't know, but mind your black bar. Shut up. I know, producer Brandon. All right. I don't know what this banana talk is about, but it sounds cool. Oh, so Kavruno, Nano Banana was the code name of the new image generation tool. Wait, what the fuck just happened? What did it do? It just wrote us an application. It just coded us a website. Holy shit. Okay. Do you remember when I said before, I don't know how to use this thing? Okay. When companies talk about models being multimodal, and OpenAI talked about this today with their speech-to-speech synthesis model. When all this stuff first came out, all these models were distinct models. You'd have a language model, you'd have an image model, you'd have a sound model, you'd have a code model. Code and language went together pretty quick, but you had specialized code models. The Gemini series, starting with 2.0, and then it got really good in 2.5. These things are multimodal, meaning if you upload a video into this thing, it can understand the video, all of it, the images, the audio, everything about it. Same with audio. What this did, which I don't understand why it did it, but because I gave it code and I said, I want you to generate this image, it generated the image, but it put the image prompt inside an application, and it created the unforgettable cinematic moment generator. You got to be kidding me. This is crazy. Generate a new image. All right, it's the same image. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, right now, the prompt is hard-coded. Vicky, pin on TikTok. I told you about this yesterday. That's what it did to me. I didn't take it in, Vicky, that it did that. I'm mind blown. Because this is not this is kind of an amazing behavior. We asked it for an image and it gave us a website that generates images. It generates the same image. That's bonkers. Oh, you posted on Irregulars. I didn't see it. That's amazing. That's crazy. This crazy talk. Right now, the prompt is hard coded. Let's make it so you can upload an image and give it an image of the character and give it a short prompt, and it will use AI to fill in the JSON framework we created. This is amazing. Let's see if, I'm not going to spend a lot of time vibe coding here. I just want to see what it does. Yeah, I got that, Brandon, I think, unless there was another one that I missed. I'll proceed with updating the canvas. So is it rewriting the code now? Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it rewrote the code. Oh, here we go. Dynamic shot, no file up. Okay, choose a file. So let's put the dude in there. Oh, that's cool. Short cinematic idea. Elias stands in the middle of Times Square in the rain after all the people left. Generate a cinematic shot. It's generating a cinematic shot. Oh, and I hit it. Oh, wait. Oh, look. Generated JSON prompt. Holy shit. Oh, my God. This is amazing. Yeah, this is a Kevin McAllister moment for me. And here's the JSON prompt that it created this big ass JSON prompt. And can I do another one? Choose file. Yeah. Let's go get a different. All right, there we go. You don't see that, but okay. So there's a woman. There's a black and white photo of a woman. So we're gonna say, we'll call it Gabby. Gabby is riding on a horse in a cowboy outfit in the dusty desert west. At sunset with a cloud of dust behind her, lit by the setting sun. I want to actually. I'm going to read the. I want to read the JSON prompt and see what it does with that. See if it generates cinematic shot. Now I can share this. Copy the contents. Can I publish it? Show console. This is crazy. So what now? We put the image and full description of the scene into Kling AI. No, what I would do is, well, so we can add to this. We can say, okay, well, I won't add a database to it, but I'll say I want to add a button to download the file and be able to name it. I also want it to download a TXT version of the shit. I want to create a TXT version of the JSON prompt. Let's try and let it fix the error that it just had. Okay, you know what I said before that I felt like an idiot and I felt like a dum-dum because I really didn't know how to use this thing? I feel well, I'm excited, but like I don't know what this means at all. Like, is this expected behavior? If you give it a JSON prompt, it's gonna assume you want code. I don't know. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a cool thing. All right, let's see. All right. Gabby wears a cowboy outfit in 1894 in the Mesa Wild West, riding at speed at sunset. Okay, create a cinematic shot. This is crazy, people. It's crazy, people. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. It's very cool. All right, I think it broke the app, quite frankly, because we don't have the JSON prompt anymore. Add Gemini features. What's that? Oh, what the hell did I just do? I enhanced the cinematic shot with 2 new LLM-powered features using the Gemini API to give you more control and inspiration. Here's the updated code. Huh. Oh, look. It added AI stuff. Expand the idea, generate the shot. Wow. Generate an image. Okay, go get the image. Got the image. Character name, Gabby. Gabby on a horse in the 1800s. And then I'm going to say expand idea. Gabby, not just on a horse, but one with her horse, a powerful, slick Mustang whose main, Jesus, generate a cinematic shot out of that now. I think it broke our thing. I think it's broken, but we'll see. This is crazy. If you're new here, if you haven't been paying attention, I'm playing around with image generation within Gemini 2.5 Flash. I had Gemini generate a JSON prompting framework for an image. I then had it generate that image, and rather than just generating the image, it generated a website to generate images. so I'm trying to get my head, my jaw back up off the floor to understand how do I even make sense of this. Watch her be a centaur. Yeah, that's true. Can it make a custom ratio like 2.1? If we add that, I'm going to just tell it broke it. It looks like the app is no longer generating the JSON prompt and therefore not generating the image. It hangs on generation. Fix that. And I want to be able to add a button to download it and the prompt. I also want an aspect ratio chooser that includes vertical, square, and cinematic wide ratios. All right, let's see what we get here. Upper left says canvas what? Unfortunately, something went wrong. Fix error. HTTP error. All right, it's fixing it. All right, people. I'm getting crunchy. We didn't do much image generation, did we? Okay, tomorrow night. So it's Thursday night. I made this announcement last night and I was wrong. But this night it's correct. Tomorrow night is Friday night date night. If you haven't been to a Friday night date night, you do yourself a favor and show up. And you might ask, well, what's different on Friday night date night? I don't know. If you have a date, that'd be different. If I'm your date, well, welcome. We do this. I'm going to definitely be playing with Nano Banana tomorrow. So do that. And then tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time is AI office hours. So I have AI office hours. If you go to my LinkedIn channel, at Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn, go to my events. You'll see AI office hours mixed in with these recordings. And just click on one of those. And the URL there is the one for tomorrow at 11. Okay. Enhanced error reporting. Flexible aspect ratio. But there's no... Oh, yeah. We now have aspect ratios. All right. Well, they're shitty, but okay. What we can... But now we have them. So, okay. So we'll do this as a square image just to test it. We're going to upload an image. Gabby. We're going to say Gabby. We're going to say rides a horse in the 1800s Wild West. And I'm not going to improve it, but I am going to say generate the shot. Hey, Pate, did you know that Gemini will just randomly build you a website if you ask it to make it an image using JSON prompting? Because that's what happened here. This is crazy. It still doesn't look like it did that. So, still breaking before it generates the JSON prompt. I've been using a little JSON in ChatGPT, and now it asks me if I want JSON appendix added to deep research. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't had that problem specifically. I don't know that it's a problem, Pate. I think it's actually really interesting. Like it seems to me like it sensed that I wanted code, or that I had code, and that maybe I wanted something more. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But it's written us a pretty sophisticated app here. And it generates images. Check out QCoder. Yeah, this is crazy. All right. Dynamic shot generator. Your cinematic shot will appear here. All right, let's try it again. Gabby. Cinematic. Gabby rides a Mustang horse in 1800s Wild West. Yeah, that's it. That's a good prompt. Oh, QCoder writes everything. You can chat, and it does everything in Visual Studio. It's like this. Yeah, like a lot of these vibe coding platforms they're pretty fucking powerful. I think this has failed again. Anyway, I guess I can come back to this chat if I wanted to work on this. I just want it to work, and it's not, so it's pissing me off now. All right, fuck it. Enough. Done for the night. All right, I'm crispy. That was a peppy night. Thanks for the good interactions tonight and the really good questions. It makes these things much. It makes these evenings. I think these kind of evenings are much more important, where we get to really talk about what's going on with AI and what they do and how they're going to affect us. Those are really good talks. So I really appreciated that tonight. All right, let me jump over to the irregulars and reload. It looks like we've got some activity. Kevin McAllister moment. Yep, I had one of those tonight. That was kind of cool. There's me pushing the button. Thank you, Lord Digital Gods. Very nice. All right, everybody. Good evening. So tomorrow is just a regular Friday. So Friday night, date night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time here. Be there or be square. I'll give you homework for the weekend. And then 11 a.m. tomorrow is AI office hours. And you should come to that. Okay? You start making them input to each other, becomes interesting what you can make. Yeah, there's all sorts of cool ideas. And the fact that you could just add, like I just hit the button and it said add Gemini features to this app that I just built you, and it just did it. That was pretty fucking slick. All right. We're in new territory, people. When your image generating tool starts writing you an application to generate images, you know you're in different territory. We ain't in Kansas anymore. That was absolutely trippy. So anyway, hope you had fun tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.